Yo, yo. What is up? Olivia D. Glitter Bean, what's up? Phil, what's going on, Phil? Beach. Glitter Bean, good to see you. Jinx, what's going on, Jinx? Joe Moser, what's up? Hope you're feeling good. Or at least better. B holding it down. Who else we got? Lisa, what's up, Lisa? How you doing? TTM. What's up, Kim? Yep, we're going to take a look at that. Hey, what's up, Frank? What's up, Andrew? What's up? What's up? I am well. Thank you. Funky little beat. So what's going on, everybody? Should have a pretty interesting little live stream today. I might even manage to bore some of you to death. All right, who do we got here? So we got Ruckus. What's up, Ruckus? How you doing, man? Got you guys. Miss Thang, what's up? Tax Cut, good to see you. Indy Pam. What's up, Joyce? Railroad Joe. Good to see you hanging around, Railroad. Bees 9. Nana 72. I know I'm missing somebody. Hey, Kelly. You can't yell at me for not hitting the like button today, Sleuth. I don't think I've ever yelled at anybody for not hitting the like button. I may call you a scrub. That's about it. Because even sometimes I'm a scrub, you know. Sometimes you just feel scrubby. You're like, yeah, you just growl. I don't like this guy. Thumbs down. Click, click. You hit it like a bunch of times. What's up, Cheryl? Hippie, hello. Oh, Purdue, I almost missed you. What's up? How you doing? Julianne, Vanessa, good to see you. CJ, K, Ken Gale Clark. Growing, thanks for the email. Appreciate it. Sorry about the cottonmouth, guys. Alexandra, hello. Mike, what's good, buddy? All right, you guys feel free to chime in at any point through all of this. To be honest, it was going to be like an hour show, quick back and forth, um, going over information, seeing if we missed anything. Food for thought, feed the bloodlust, I guess. If we're going to do it, this case is important, and we might as well do it, for the Delphi case. If we're going to be lusting for blood. Because like they've said plenty of times, it's everybody's child, really. It could have been anybody. What's up, Mother of Dragons? Thanks, Kelly. Support with Stefa. Good to see you as well. All right. Looks like I got everybody. Jerry, Digital, and Patricia. Stumbling in like some hobos. Fashionably late. What do you think you are, the Carters? What is this? All right, I think we're going to start with maybe the... Here, let me see what I have here. Okay, I already broke it down. Oh, okay, just some quick news. We can start there. That way I don't forget. And I think somebody already brought it up, actually. So let's take a look at this right here. So it looks like Indiana is working on some positive things.
Years ago, he was staunchly opposed to any Indiana law that supports marijuana use. Now he's authored House Bill 1297 that would allow someone to have up to 2 ounces of marijuana without getting in trouble. The bill also added edibles to the list and an age requirement of being at least 21 years old. Supporters testified it would help veterans who use marijuana for medical conditions, as well as help law enforcement focus on more serious crimes rather than possession of a small amount of marijuana. Those opposed said it could lead to more traffic accidents and deaths because of impaired driving, as well as confusion for employers who might be required by the federal government to drug test employees. Even though the committee didn't vote on HB 1297, Representative Van Adder says today's conversation was a start in passing a similar law during a future session.
We can't do anything without at least talking about it. So now I've got feedback from the pro and the opposition, and we'll just continue to work with them.
This isn't the only bill this session that deals with marijuana use. There's a House bill to legalize medicinal use of marijuana, and there are 2 bills in the Senate. One of those would deal with decriminalizing 1 ounce of marijuana. None of those bills at this point have received a hearing, which is another reason supporters of this bill say that getting this hearing was such a big deal. At the State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
So I thought that was interesting. I think the problem is when it comes to marijuana is I think it's an issue where like left and right can kind of meet in the middle. Like we don't really talk about politics on this channel, but just to quickly say, I think more conservative voters start to see like marijuana not as like this hippie or liberal or part of that whole movement. I think it would be a good point where people could meet in the middle. This also was interesting out of Indiana for all my Indiana subscribers. Oh, why is it muted? Oh shit. That's really strange. There's like no audio to it. But anyway, I think starting in May in Indiana, you're going to be able to have cameras in your courtrooms now. It'll be up to the judge, and no kids and no can't remember. I guess it's up to the judge's discretion. Kelly says, I'm ready for North Carolina to join the bandwagon. Yeah. Their only real argument was that there was going to be more like DWI type arrests. I don't think so. Because usually if somebody's behind the wheel and they've been smoking, they're probably going the speed limit. Checking their mirrors and shit. When you're drunk, you're like got one eye. Oh my god. Try to drive with one eye, like, oh my god, where am I? I used to have a buddy, he told me that. He used to drive shit faced all the time. I would come to work and I'd be like, this is back in my furniture delivery days. And I was like, man, how do you do that? He's like, well, when you start seeing that double vision, you just close one eye. You could drive. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. Anybody hear that two of the Idaho roommates had fans only pages and BK followed them? Breaking rumor? I don't know. I don't follow that case much. I don't see, too much going on. Looks like he's like was a lone, maybe a lone killer. Like a serial killer wannabe, maybe. One eye prevents double vision. Yeah, I've never had that problem. I don't understand. Because I've been drunk enough to where like it's kind of blurry and the room is spinning. I just kind of, I don't know. I guess I just understand in my head that I'm dizzy. Try to adapt. It was a local company. It was a family owned place. I wouldn't say it was, it is. It's my friend's business. Susan says, I wish South Carolina would make it legal. It would be great for me. Hate taking pain meds. Yeah, it's basically what it is. It's like a pain medication. Are they going to bring in an extra prosecutor? I don't know. I don't see why they would. They're very protective, I guess is a good word. That little bunch. And we're going to feed the conspiracy theorists out there today because I went on a little rabbit hole. And I mean, it's all speculation. Anything mentioned here, any names, any news articles, anything presented up on the screen that maybe you consider being pointed at somebody, that's not my intention. But the more information we have, since we're breaking things down, to the very smallest possible particle. Remember the Delphi Hadron Collider? So this was really interesting, but I think we're going to start here first. Reach into my soul. What's up? Good to see you. At least they could. Oh, did I miss Redfoot? Hey, what's up, Redfoot? Could prescribe. Yeah, first here in Arizona, they passed medical. And that was wonderful. Because I was having back spasms. You guys ever get that? Man, that shit helped. Good to see you, Lakeside. Reaching to my soul. I drove tired many times, which is not good. Yeah, I did that before. When I was younger, we were driving all night. It was me and a cousin of mine. Man, if you sometimes when you look back at the crazy things you did, you're like, how are you even alive? You know? And the truth is some people just didn't make it. We're like the lucky ones. Hey, Ann, much as I like watching trials via TV at another level, I think the process works better if they're not that added pressure of broadcast awareness for all concerned, including the jury. I mean, the process, it's all, the majority of it should be public. I mean, it's the public who is that's putting these people on trial. You know, it's not like some dark, mysterious group. It's a public, it's a government entity, you know, so the public should have as much access that's not going to hinder. All right, let me share my screen real quick. Like I told you, today's going to be really long-winded, and I don't mind reading all this stuff again. All right. I mean, I already read it twice today again. All right. So we're going to jump right down here to all of the evidence information. This is the probable cause for arrest for Richard Allen, the Delphi double homicide suspect. Now, the strange thing about these documents is it reads like a probable cause for a search warrant. So they had all of this information prior to the search and didn't include anything found in the search. So did they find anything? Is what they found related to these other people that may be involved? Honeybee says, I may have misheard, but I thought he wanted a prosecutor to handle the routine case while he works on the girls. Well, he has his office. Have you ever wondered if the girls were taken to the CPS building? Yes, I have. We're going to talk about that today. Or if they may have wanted to. Multiple cars parked at the CPS building. It may be the case. Everything's just so strange. What's up, Vic? Vic has a good comment here. Richard Allen only mentioned his clothing in 2022. We're going to talk about that for a minute too when we get to it. That's towards the end of this affidavit here. Not in 2017 with the conservation officer. Okay, Indiana people, is it a conservation officer or is it a BL or what is it? Department of Land Management or some shit? Well, the reason he would still admit to it is because he's basically saying, you know what, there's too many people that can put me there. or he thought that might have been an error on his part. You know, if he would have never admitted to any of that, I don't know if he would have ever been caught. But I think he thought he was being strategic. He's like, man, all these people saw me. And maybe he actually recognized a couple people, or he had mentioned to somebody that he was heading out there, or he knew he was filmed, or yeah, all these witnesses, they seen him. Yeah, there's a lot of strange stuff we're going to look at right now. Digital says, didn't McClellan say the extra prosecutor would handle? I've never heard of this extra prosecutor. Was that in that video that came out today? I watched it briefly. I might have missed that part where they were having like a town hall meeting or some shit. Jerry says, I get horrible back pain. Had to switch to tension bands for the past 3 to 4 months. Seem to be better on my back and joints than free weights. Yeah. I use different kind of rollers on my back. I do a lot of stretching, and I use light weights, like slower reps, because I have bad joints anyway. I don't want to get them all, I guess, inflamed would be the word. Andrew says, if any case warranted a special prosecutor, I say Delphi fits the bill. Question is, who's going to pay the bill? That's what they're worried. All right, let's get this going. So the affidavit says that on February 14th, 2017, victim 1 and victim 2 were found deceased in the woods approximately 0.2 miles northeast of the Monon High Bridge in Carroll County. Their bodies were located on the north side of the Deer Creek. At the time, the Monon High Bridge Trail was approximately 1 mile gravel trail terminating at the Monon High Bridge. The Monon High Bridge is an abandoned railroad trestle approximately a quarter mile long, spanning the Deer Creek and Deer Creek Valley on the southeast end of the trail. Approximately 0.7 miles northwest on the trail from the northwestern edge of the Monon High Bridge is the Freedom Bridge, which is a pedestrian bridge spanning State Road 25. Approximately 350 feet west of Freedom Bridge was a former railroad overpass over Old State Road 25, also known as County Road 300. The trail terminates just west of the former railroad overpass. The majority of the trail is in a wooded area with the steep embankment on the south side of the trail. The entirety of the trail and the location of the girls' bodies were and are located in Carroll County, Indiana. Cameras keep the process honest. Johnny Depp is a prime example. Or do they play to the mob? Control the mob. Reminds me of the Gladiator. Shout out to Michigan. Big up. We should be able to watch it on TV. We as taxpayers are funding the trial. Correct. Like it trickles down, from your elected officials. It's all public. Shout out to Detroit. Sylvia, what's going on? Yeah, we just got started. We've just been hanging out, talking about some news local to Indiana. Cameras in the courtroom. They're not legalizing marijuana yet, but at least they're talking about it. Thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, hit the like button. What's up with that? Yep, we got a members meeting coming up. Hey, Grizz, what's going on? Good to see you. Thank you, Vanessa. Oh my gosh, DNR. My brain is all mush. I'm running on barbecue sliders and coffee. Thank you, thank you. Dang, I'm way behind on this. Department of Forestry. Yep. Department of Natural Resources. Thank you, JJ. I was not aware that he did not mention his clothing in 2017. That makes more sense. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, we got some good merch. What's up, Deja Vu? Why did they stop the search on the 13th? Damn it. We're going to talk about that, actually. We're going to talk about why they stopped it and why they started it. I'm sorry I'm being so slow with all this information, but I'm super chilled out right now. Like, I'm ready for one of those long streams. It's like you wake up and it's like, oh my gosh. Well, not that long, but longer than usual. I still don't see how the CPS building is so relevant when none of the witnesses' statements actually match to Richard Allen Carr or even each other's statements. People keep saying Richard Allen's car, but no proof. Okay, let's say none of the cars are Richard Allen's. Whose cars, who do they belong to? Whose are they? If they're not his, nobody else came forward and said, hey, look, these are our vehicles. Yeah, and I have the article right now that states it's directly from a first-hand police source. That's what the article says. And we're going to read it. So yeah, it looks like I'm going to be able to answer a lot of these questions here in a little bit. Try to focus on the chat a little better. Conservation officer, whatever call, drives police vehicle with special identification, K9 officers. Yep. They have, I think they may have more, I guess, legal power than just your regular police even. Okay. Through interviews, reviews of electronic records, and review of video at the Hoosier Harvest Store, was right next to the Mears lot, west of the Mears lot. Investigators believe victim 1 and victim 2 were dropped off across from the Mears farm at 1:49 p.m. on February 13th, 2017 by Libby's big sister. The Mears farm is located on the north side of County Road 300 North near the entrance to the trails. So right across the street, you can access the trails right across from the Mears farm. A video from victim 2's phone shows that at 2:13 p.m., victim 1 and victim 2 encountered a male subject on the southeast portion of the Monon High Bridge. The male ordered girls, quote unquote, the guys down the hill. No witness saw them after the time. No outgoing communications were found on victim 2's phone after this time. Their bodies were discovered on February 14th, 2017. The video recovered from victim 2's phone shows victim 1 walking southeast on the Monon High Bridge. That's the bridge guy video. They just cut Abby out of it, while the male subject wearing a dark jacket, and they don't know if it's black or blue. And I really don't know. The video can be misleading too. Maybe it's not a blue jacket, or maybe it's like a navy blue. Could be much darker than what we're seeing in that video. In a dark jacket and jean walks behind her. As the male subject approaches victim 1 and victim 2, one of the victims mentions gun. Near the end of the video, a male is seen and heard telling the girls' guys down the hill. The girls then begin to proceed down the hill, and the video ends. Kay says, also, I'd like to know why. How is it that the unspent bullet has become the smoking gun in Richard Allen's case, but no mention of it in Ron Logan's search warrant? Seems such an important piece of evidence would be. I think it was mentioned in the other search warrant. In the LM search warrant over there on Bicycle Bridge Road. Nobody's got their hands on it, that's all. The video recovered, a still photograph taken from the video and the guys down the hill audio was subsequently released to the public to assist investigators in identifying the male. Victim 1 and Victim 2's deaths were ruled as homicides. Clothes were found in the Deer Creek belonging to Victim 1 and Victim 2, south of where their bodies were located. So we've now seen those images. So those are the leaked images that were recently put out there. I guess some people had them already. D says, as I recall, for FD members who had to work in the morning, lots of fog, so Tobe didn't want any searchers to get hurt or go missing. And like I said, we will get to that. And there are some interesting things that I will be bringing up. Yeah, that is crazy. She shed. Hey, what's up, Linda? Why are deliberations public? Because it's a public matter. Not all the information is public, of course, but the process itself is public. When trials are televised in the States, is the jury shown on TV? No. That'd be messed up. How much of a role do you think animal hair plays in a part in it? And if their cat DNA was found, why would the wife be supporting Richard Allen? I mean, I don't know if it plays a part, but these things start to stack. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to stack all of this evidence, which, once they stack it all the way to the top, it looks like a killer. But they definitely they have to have a lot more, and I think they do. Oh, it looks like we got a new member. Let me zip down here. Bam. Welcome, Sylvia. Yeah, we're going to be hanging out in a members meeting very soon. What's up, Rose? What's up, Cowboy? Thank you. Yeah, they're federal, huh? I think you're right. Yeah, Frank's from Indiana. He knows what the fuck he's talking about. The drivers could have come forward and we would know. Carter said on Megyn Kelly, nobody saw the BG. Now the PCA comes out. Well, if somebody came forward with the PT Cruiser, he wouldn't be asking about it. They wouldn't even be bringing it up. What's up, Dwight? Thank you. I've been doing well. I hope you're doing okay. Perpetual motion. KA new. It's possible. Because you can kind of hear Doug Carter and some of these little comments in the PCA are kind of aimed at that. Let me see. Where they talk about releasing an image in hopes that somebody would admit. All right. Interviews were conducted with 3 juveniles, blank and blank. Are juveniles blank, blank, and blank? So 3 juveniles. They advised they were on the Monon High Bridge Trail on February 13th, 2017. They advised they were walking on the trail toward Freedom Bridge to go home when they encountered a male walking from Freedom Bridge towards the Monon High Bridge. One of the witnesses described the male as kind of creepy and advised he was wearing like a blue jeans, like a really light blue jacket, and his hair was gray, maybe a little brown, and he did not really show his face. So head down. So like if you go like this, like you can't really see my face. Let's say the microphone is like a face cover. You know, you can't really see what's going on. Kind of creepy. They said hi to him. She advised the jacket was duck canvas type jacket. The witness advised she said hi to the male, but he just glared at them. She recalled him being in all black, had something covering his mouth. She described him as not very tall, with a bigger build. She said he was not bigger than 5'10". One of the witnesses advised he was wearing a black hoodie, black jeans, and black boots. She stated he had his hands in his pockets. The witness showed investigators photographs she took on her phone while she was on the trail that day. The photographs included a photo of the Monon High Bridge taken at 12:43 p.m. So they made their way all the way from the Freedom Bridge to the Monon High Bridge, and then back. So 12:43 p.m. they were able to prove, hey, we are right here at the Monon High Bridge. Another one was taken at 1:26 p.m. of the bench east of Freedom Bridge. So it's kind of like almost a midway marker between the Monon and the Freedom Bridge. It's like almost a middle point. She advised that was when they encountered the man who matched the description of the photograph taken from victim two's video. The witness described the man she encountered on the trail as wearing a blue or black windbreaker jacket. She advised the jacket had a collar and had his hood up from the clothing underneath his jacket. She advised he was wearing baggy jeans and was taller than her. She advised her head came up to approximately his shoulder. She advised said hi, the man, and that he said nothing back. She stated he was walking with a purpose, like he knew where he was going. She stated he had his hands in his pockets and kept his head down. She advised she did not get a good look at his face, but believed him to be a white male. The girls advised after encountering the male, they continued their walk across Freedom Bridge and the old railroad bridge over Old State Road 25. Oh, looks like we got a super chat. A super sticker. Thank you, Pammy. I appreciate that. Okay, so when he gives his description in 2022, which we'll read at the end of this probable cause, he mentions his jacket having a hood. So I mean, he's basically saying, yeah, that's me. Like I'm the guy on the bridge, but I'm not the killer. Investigators spoke with the witness who advised she was on the trails on February 13th, 2017. Video from the Hoosier Harvest Store captured the witness vehicle traveling eastbound at 1:46 p.m. toward the entrance across from the Mears farm. Okay, so this is Libby's big sister. And originally, the other witness reported 3 juvenile females. She here is reporting 4. So I thought that was, I'm just pointing that out. I thought it was interesting. Advised she saw 4 juvenile females walking on the bridge over Old State Road 25 as she was driving underneath on her way to park. Advised there were no other cars parked across from the Mears farm when she parked. She advised she walked to the Monon High Bridge and observed a male matching the one from victim two's video. She described the male she saw as a white male wearing blue jeans and a blue jean jacket. She advised he was standing on the first platform of the Monon High Bridge, approximately 50 feet from her. I feel like I have like a sneeze coming. Do you ever have that? It's like you can tell it's coming, like a little tickle. All right, what do I do with that? Oh, here it is. Okay, just to put it into perspective, this would be kind of what she was seeing, I guess. So that's the first platform there. But wrong jacket. It would have been she's saying he was wearing what appeared to be maybe a jean jacket, but I'm assuming a Carhartt or kind of like a blue jacket with the sun shining right on it. It may appear like a dark jean jacket. Anne says, I've never been clear from this affidavit whether the three teenager witnesses quoted were together or separate. Well, they're together, at least two of them, because in the verbiage, they say they, you know, it'll be talking like it goes from singular, and then to the conclusion part of it is always they. They went, from this point, they went back to the bridge. So he's almost hanging out. Why is he hanging out here? Is it because he's seen her and he's waiting for her to leave? Because we know he goes all the way across and hides in the back. I'm almost certain of that. Either that or she is lying. So he's waiting here. He's like, damn it, I need to get to the back of this bridge. Like, get out of here, lady. And as soon as she skedaddles, and this is what I think, this is kind of what I picture her seeing when I read the probable cause affidavit. Like, she just walked up to the bridge to kind of get a good look, and there he is, just kind of hanging out right there. Thanks, Steve. Beach says, that's what I mean. Like color, you wouldn't be able to see eye color driving past, but maybe if their eyes look dark, you'd assume. Not blue, but not sure what color, just a thought. Yeah, and I wonder if it wasn't the witness driving by. What if it was this witness? I think right here you would be able to kind of get an idea, right? 50 feet. That's more like 30, 20 to 30. The halfway point between the Freedom Bridge and the Monon High Bridge is at the 501-505 trail split. So I would say just past that is where that bench is, right? What's up, Eric? Good to see you. Thank you so much, Pammy. Thanks for your support. I don't think M&B witness is credible. Why not? I just don't believe he would have been strolling down the highway when there were already people searching. Well, I wouldn't really say searching. They were wondering, where are these kids at? They were getting ready to search. So he's just hanging out here till the coast is clear because I think he's getting ready to cross. That's what I think. Okay, where were we? Okay. So she saw 4 juvenile females walking on the bridge over Old State Road 25 as she was driving underneath on her way to park. Wait, is it the same one? Yes. Oh, okay. So this was not Big Sister yet. Let me read this again. Investigators spoke with a witness who advised she was on the trails on February 13th, 2017. Video from the Hoosier Harbor store captured the witness's vehicle traveling eastbound. Yeah, so this is, I'm sorry about that. This is a different witness. I apologize. 1:46 p.m. toward the entrance across the Mears farm. Witness advised she saw 4 juvenile females walking on the bridge as she went under Old State Road 25 as she was driving underneath on her way to park. Witness advised there were no other cars parked across from the Mears farm when she parked. So we now know that nobody was there. So we need to skip all the way over here to where we were. Bottom of this page here. So 50 feet from her, she advised she turned around at the bridge and continued her walk. She advised approximately halfway between the bridge and the parking area across from Mears Farm, she passed 2 girls walking toward the Monon High Bridge. So they just missed this guy, right? Because when Libby takes that first image, that Snapchat photo, she takes it of the entire bridge. You can see all the way across to the south end. Nobody's there. So either they're with this guy right then and there, and he just happens not to be in any of the pictures. And then once they get to the south end, he's like, boom, pulls out a gun. So I don't know. It's either he's hiding back there or he's with them already. They met up, for whatever reasons that are unknown. And he just wasn't captured in any of those photos because she takes an image of the bridge going south and then she turns around and takes another image. You see both ends of the bridge and there's no bridge guy. Yet 6 minutes later, you have a guy walking behind them who then says, get down the hill. So either they all met up and she started taking pictures and they were together on the bridge at one point, or he was hiding and waiting on the south end, in my opinion. Okay, now that witness left at 2:14 p.m., leaving westbound from the trails. Witness advised she was leaving. She noted a vehicle was parked in an odd manner at the old Child Protective Service building. She said it was not odd for vehicles to be parked there, but she noticed it was odd because of the manner it was parked. Backed in near the building, investigators received a tip from the witness in which he stated he was on his way to Delphi on State Road 25 around 2:10 p.m. on February 13th, 2017. He observed a purple PT Cruiser or a small SUV type vehicle parked on the south side of the old CPS building. So there's that little parking area. That would be the south side. He stated it appeared as though it was backed in as to conceal the license plate or the vehicle. Witnesses both drew diagrams of where they saw the vehicle parked, and the diagrams generally matches the area the vehicle was parked and the manner in which it was parked. Witnesses advised they remembered seeing a smaller dark-colored car parked at the CPS building. He described it as possibly being a smart car. The witness vehicle is seen leaving at 2:28 p.m. on the Hoosier Harbor store video. See, that's interesting. Okay, and this is basically the part muddy and bloody here. Investigators spoke with a witness who stated that she was traveling east on 300 North on February 13th, 2022. See, this is a typo right there. And observed a male subject walking west on the north side of 300 North away from the Monon High Bridge. The witness advised that the male subject was wearing a blue-colored jacket and blue jeans and was muddy and bloody. She further stated that it appeared he had gotten into a fight. Investigators were able to determine from watching the video from the Hoosier Harvest store that blank was traveling on CR 300 North at approximately 3:57. So if he is the killer, he's the bridge guy. He's covered in mud and blood. He's walking around an hour and 45 minutes after confronting them on the bridge. There's a big part of this story that we're not hearing. Okay. So investigators reviewing prior tips encountered a tip narrative from an officer who interviewed Richard M. Allen in 2017. The narrative is stated, Mr. Allen was on the trail between 1:30 and 2:30. He parked at the old Farm Bureau building and walked to the new Freedom Bridge. While at the Freedom Bridge, he saw 3 females. He noted one was taller and had brown or black hair. He did not remember description, nor did he speak with them. He walked from the Freedom Bridge to the High Bridge. He did not see anybody. Although he stated he was watching a stock ticker on his phone as he walked, he stated there were vehicles parked at the High Bridge trailhead, however, did not pay attention to them. He did not take any photos or video. So the witnesses to the witnesses, he appeared to be to have his hands in his pockets. But in reality, he probably had his head down and was looking at his phone. You know, when you see somebody walk by and you happen to turn, you're going to catch just what appears to be somebody with their hands in their pocket. So he probably mentioned that part because he was tracking them somehow with his phone, which is a sign of premeditated murder. Investigators believe Mr. Allen was referring to the former Child Protective Services building where he said he parked. There was not a Farm Bureau building in the area, nor had there been. Investigators believe the females he saw included the witnesses. Due to the time they were leaving the trail, the time he reported getting to the trail, and the description of the 3 females gave. Investigators discovered Richard Allen owned 2 vehicles in 2017, a 2016 black Ford Focus and a 2006 gray Ford 500. Investigators observed a vehicle that resembled Allen's 2016 Ford Focus on the Hoosier Harvester video at 1:27 p.m. So we're going to skip to the part where he kind of talks about what he was wearing. Right here. Between October 14th, 2022 and October 19th of 2022, the Indiana State Police Laboratory performed an analysis on Allen's 6 Sawyer Model P226. The laboratory performed a physical examination and a classification of the firearm. Richard Allen voluntarily came to the Indiana State Police Post on October 26, 2022. He spoke with investigators and stated that he never allowed anybody to use or borrow the 6 Sawyer Model P226 firearm. When asked about the unspent bullet, he did not have any explanation of why the bullet was found between the bodies of victim 1 and victim 2. He admitted that he was on the trail, but denied knowing the victims and denied any involvement in their murders. Carroll County Sheriff's Department detective Redacted has been part of the investigation since it started in 2017. He has had an opportunity to review and examine evidence gathered in this investigation. Detective, along with other investigators, believe the evidence gathered shows Richard Allen is the male subject seen on the video from victim 2's phone, who forced the victims down the hill. Further, that the victims were forced down the hill by Richard Allen and led to the location where they were murdered. Through statements and photographs of juvenile females and the statement of Redacted, were at the southeast edge of the trail at 12:43 p.m. east of Freedom Bridge at 1:26 p.m. and walked across the former railroad overpass over Old State 25 after 1:26 p.m. and before 1:46 p.m. All right, for the sake of time, Through his own admission, Richard Allen walked the trails and eventually hiked to the Monon High Bridge and walked out onto the Monon High Bridge. So he's admitting to things that he knows people witnessed him do. I must have skipped it. Let me go back. Oh, here it is. Maybe not. Okay. On October 13th, 2022, Richard Allen was interviewed again by investigators. He advised he was on the trails on February 13th, 2017. He stated he saw juvenile girls on the trails east of Freedom Bridge and that he went onto the Monon High Bridge. Richard Allen further stated he went out onto the Monon High Bridge to watch the fish. Later in his statement, he said he walked out to the first platform on the bridge. He stated he then walked back, sat on a bench on the trail, and then left. He stated he parked his car on the side of an old building. He told investigators that he was wearing blue jeans and a blue or black Carhartt jacket with a hood. He advised he may have been wearing some type of head covering. Okay, now, if they found something during that search of his home, they found that jacket and there's even the smallest amount of blood from one of those victims on his jacket, that's the end. There's nothing else to discuss. I wonder if this kind of seems like the style, right? What's up, Dave? Okay, now here's that article I was referring to from Crime Watch 8. Posted November 14th, 2022. Not too long after all of the news came out about the arrest of Richard Allen. Source: investigators have known for years that the Delphi suspect was on the Monon High Bridge the day Abby and Libby were killed. Richard Allen, the man arrested in 2017 double murder of Abigail Williams and Liberty German near Delphi, told a state conservation officer he was in the area on the day of the killings. But his report may have been considered unfounded, a police source tells iTeam8. Allen, a 50-year-old resident of Delphi, went to the conservation officer right after the teen's murders on February 13th, 2017. So it sounds like right when they were met, have been searching for him and said he was on the Monon High Bridge that afternoon, but didn't see the two girls, the source says. Williams and German were dropped off near the bridge on the day of the murders. Their bodies were found the next day. Allen's statement was forgotten until recently when Indiana State Police became frustrated with the status of the Delphi investigation and asked a group of investigators to look over the files related to the case. Investigators believe Allen is the man on the bridge in the cell phone video and in the sketches released by police. The source tells iTeam8. So this same source is not only saying that he came forward and who he spoke to, but they're saying that law enforcement believes he's both sketches. Excuse me. And here's the search of the Wabash. The police source also confirms that the recent 5-week state police search of the Wabash River in Peru was connected to the Delphi investigation. It was initiated after Keegan Klein told police they would find a cell phone and weapon in the river, the source tells iTeam8. Klein, 28, a figure linked to the Delphi murders, who has not been charged in the case, revealed that information while being questioned about the deaths of Libby and Abby. So there's a lot of crazy stuff there, a lot of crazy claims there. 4 girls. Yeah, very strange. I wonder if that was a slip. Is it 3 girls or is it 4 girls? What's up, Jen? Yeah, it might have been planned. Could have been a hired hit, but for what reason, I don't know. Maybe it was mutual motivation. Peace out, Ruckus. All right, guys. Well, we're just getting started here. Let's jump into the CPS information that I found today. Man, too much reading. All right, let's start here. Maybe we'll catch up on chat. Let me pop this up on the screen. Jinx says almost all of the witnesses are minors, so how reliable are they really? RA's wife is a victim too. I wish people wouldn't say disparaging things about her without proof. Okay, now these are all going to be totally random. Okay, former Pittsburgh restaurant is new Delphi Legion location. This is published July 29th, 2015. It is no secret the Delphi American Legion Post 75 wants to own the building formerly occupied by the Indiana Department of Child Services on the east end of Delphi. Now, the Delphi American Legion, that's like a veterans organization. It is also no secret their current location on South Washington Street in the Oddfellows building provides little to no parking for members and limits the activities to Post is able to offer. So I had never heard that before. Oddfellows? I've never heard that saying or ever heard of that before. So I looked a little further. I kind of went down this weird rabbit hole. So this is just more interesting information than anything. So I typed it up, and this, I believe, hold on, I have the date here. Maybe not. Okay, so I was like, what the hell is that? Oddfellows. So let's read the description of this image here. Oddfellows, 160 years of fellowship service. James Elbright kneels in front of a memorial stone at Delphi's Independent Order of Oddfellows Cemetery on Wilson Street. Several members turned out for a Saturday morning workday to repair the foundations of toppling headstones. Ebright is one of about 15 active members of the IOOF in Delphi Lodge 28. The group straightened about 40 stones. So let's read this. Jason Lowry joined the Oddfellows Lodge when he was 18, partly because his father was a member and partly because the lodge has a pool hall, card games, and steak dinners. Aside from being a social organization, Lowry said the Oddfellows' main purpose is philanthropy. The group helps local clubs and organizations like Food Baskets, the Health Fair, the After Prom, Little League, and they recently donated for a caution light on Hamilton Street near the softball diamond. Lowry said the club has served as a vehicle so that the regular man would do noble things in his community. Why the name Oddfellows, they ask. More than 150 years ago, when a group of men donated money to kids for school clothes, some people thought that was odd, said Lowry. So the group officially convened on February 13th, 1846, and became the Independent Order of Oddfellows. So I thought it was very strange. The same group that was looking to obtain the CPS building, strangely, were created on February 13th. So that just stood out to me. The group is about 50 members strong, with 15 or so currently active. The club supports two IOOF cemeteries, one on Wilson Street and the other in Pittsburgh, Indiana. Lowry said that at one time there were 5 or more lodges in the county, including Lockport, Burroughs, and Rockfield. This year, the group has focused on cleaning the cemeteries, dressing the headstones, and renovating the exterior of the lodge buildings. The Oddfellows budget report dated 1881 showed that the cost to build the Oddfellows Lodge was about $22,000, with the land costing $5,000. The lodge is always accepting new members. For more information, contact Don Burkhalter, and then that's probably some super old number. This is a really old article. All right. So I was like, okay, who's this Don Burkhalter? And I think this is what year was this one? 2011. So this is another old one. So I was just kind of going down this Oddfellow rabbit hole. Let's see here. International Order of Oddfellows, IOOF, is what that is for. Members in Delphi has operated Memorial Cemetery since the 1800s. Oddfellow Don Burkhalter shows off a sign that designates the location of the new crematorium garden in the cemetery. The garden has nearly 200 spots available for burials. It's a comment photo. Let's see. The Delphi International Order of Oddfellows Lodge has been in charge of the maintenance and operations of the Memorial Cemetery in Pittsburgh since the 1800s. Members recently decided to incorporate the first crematorium garden in the cemetery while the process expanding the burial plot locations. So we got the CPS building, we got cemeteries, and then we got February 13th playing a part, which is probably means nothing. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, and then they had a close-up of that same image. Let me pop that up. So this is from the comment, Carroll County, from 2011. This is not the cemetery. This one is actually in the town of Delphi. It's like, I believe it's like west of Delphi, if I'm not wrong. Unless this is not the one. Actually, this is a different one altogether. Just scratch that. Forget I said that. Sorry. This is some of the imagery from that group, from that fraternity, that fraternal order, or whatever you want to call it. So I guess the axes are for anything you need to cut away from your life, is what I read, that's keeping you from being a better man or helping others. The skull and crossbones is said to remind you that eventually you have to face your maker. And then, of course, you have this one, which is fellowship and above all other little secret handshakes. So they're not connected with Freemasonry, but they do work with them often. They have a lot of similarities. Some things are different. But I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if they weren't ritualistic in nature. Behind the scenes, you know what I mean? Here's another one from I believe this is an Indiana chapter. IOOF 293. This looked very Freemason-esque. Got the 3 links. The staff. Wonder if that represents some kind of Christianity. But notice this big ass freaking axe right here. Shit is crazy. So yeah, not quite sure if that plays any part, but they did show interest. They wanted to get the CPS building. They were denied. But they were not the only people interested in purchasing that. Let's take a look here. Now, this was October 11th, 2017, just after the murders. Same year. Yeah, I think the verbiage was believed they were the victims. So I don't know if she knew them or if she just seen them or was shown pictures. Like, hey, is this who you seen? Candy Lady, hello. Good to see you. Try to catch up a little bit on what's going on over here with you guys in the chat. Maybe they already knew, and that's why they didn't discover the bodies till they were brought back to the place. Yeah, I'm not sure. Something's going on. What's up, Bogey? Instinctively racked his gun. Yeah, maybe when he holstered it, he racked it. Didn't even think. Okay, so October 11th, 2017 by Debbie Lowe. And this is from the Carol Comment as well. Call this the Carol Comment rabbit hole. Purchase of old social services building proposed to Deer Creek by land developer. Land developer Benjamin Sutter of Battleground presented a letter of intent to the Deer Creek Township Board at its October 3rd meeting to purchase the old social services building located at 6932 West County Road 300 North on the east side of Delphi. And of course, they got the image of the CPS building there. Board members Jane Abbott, Joe Mayfield indicated to the comment when interviewed they received a letter just 1 or 2 days prior to the meeting and knew nothing of the project. Interesting. Mayfield, the board president, said board member David McCain and Sutter met to develop the plan. Sutter and David McCain. Interesting. Sutter told the comment October 5th the project has come together in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Even closer to the murders. Mayfield said more information must be obtained before the township should consider the proposition. He said although the formal letter was presented to the board, he never had the idea they would sign anything at the meeting. The letter of intent, which was prepared by attorney Miriam Robeson for Sutter, states it is intended to be a binding promise to come to agreement in good faith, and it is anticipated that the Deer Creek Township trustee may obtain ownership of the parcel in question from the Indiana Department of Transportation. So this is like some scheme for them to own it. So they want to sell it so they can buy it. The state purchased the price in the letter of $28,000. Sutter's proposal was for him to reimburse the township for all the expenses, including a reasonable cost of acquisition, and transfer of the property. See? So this is like some kind of scheme. Transfer the property, except as it may be prorated to any land retained by the township. Sutter's plan calls for his ownership of 60% of the usable space for commercial use and 35% of public and nonprofit use. It's all money here. The proposed terms of the public use include a 25-year lease agreement for the amount of $1 per year, with the tenant township responsible for payment of consumed utilities such as electric, water, and sewer. Sounds like a raw deal. The public uses suggested include a gateway tourist welcome and information center, Deer Creek Bicentennial Park Center for the new park being discussed adjacent to the Monon High Bridge, a history interpretive center for the Deer Creek Valley area with a direct link to the High Bridge, a nature center for the scenic and natural areas along the Monon High Bridge Trail, an interpretive center for the Deer Creek Valley Rural Historic District, and the Deer Creek Township Community Center. So this is all money here. Abbott said in an interview, McCain urged consideration of the agreement by the township board members because of a purchase by the township with agreement with Sutter would support the trail system. How do you have your hand in just so many cookie jars? I don't understand that. But check this bottom part out. The Deer Creek Township Board has announced a meeting for Wednesday, October 11th at 10:30 a.m. at the McClellan Law Office. So this is shortly before he becomes prosecutor for Carroll County. 104 West Main Street in Delphi. Mayfield, he was unclear why the meeting was called. However, he said the agenda could involve the old social services building. Mayfield said those who have questions or have comments can contact him by email. Delphi Mayor Shane Evans advised the matter will be discussed at a special October 16th City Council meeting beginning at 7 p.m. in the city building. A lot of interesting parties. It's like these people are just involved in everything. Like if you were trying to get something done in Delphi, let's say you owned property and you wanted to get something accomplished, you would have to go through all of these people. That sounds miserable. Hey, what's up, Shay? Sorry I missed you. Hey, what's up, Tom? Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you, buddy. All right. Okay, now this is just a few days later. And it looks like the proposal was denied. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up. All right. So Deer Creek, this is actually Carroll County comment October 25th, 2017 by Debbie Lowe, staff writer. Deer Creek Township officials, board members Joe Mayfield, the president, David McCain, secretary, Jane Abbott, and trustee Doris McClelland were presented with a letter of intent from Ben Sutter as an agreement to purchase the old social services building on the east edge of Delphi October 3rd. The proposal was originally not greeted with support from the board members, which we just read. It was rejected by the city of Delphi and has now come back to the township for additional consideration. The township is being asked to purchase the 2.43 acre lot, which includes a 43 by 83 square foot building from the Indiana Department of Transportation. So INDOT is the owner of that. Selling price is determined by INDOT at $28,000. Still, there was not unanimous agreement among the township decision makers. Abbott questioned why this would be a township matter. She also questioned some wording in the letter of intent stating the responsibility of the township, which she said could possibly lead to the expenditure of more tax dollars than the $28,000 asking price. She also questions if it was legal for Deer Creek Township to sell the property to Sutter rather than follow a state statute she found which described how a public entity can dispose of real property. She said it seems there would have to be an auction. Yes, she's like, there's something shady going on here. Township attorney Nick McClellan said in a October 11th township board meeting, he was hesitant to represent the group in the matter because there are other attorneys who are well versed in government real land acquisition and disposition. He recommended the board hire another attorney for the work because we all know he was getting ready to become a prosecutor. McCain and Mayfield decided to solicit the help of an attorney, Eric Burns, who also represents the Delphi City Council and Carroll County Council. At an October 19th meeting, McCain said he had a long conversation with Burns on the telephone. I bet you did. Burns was unable to attend this meeting. McCain advised Burns charges $200 per hour. Damn. Burns was reached by telephone during the meeting. He calls, "Hey, baby, it's a boy." He agreed to a conference call the following day and was hired unanimously by the township board to represent them in the matter. Of course they were. We're going to go ahead and funnel your tax dollars to this attorney here at $200 for each billable hour. Good for Carroll County. All right. We're going to skip over. We're not going to read all of this, maybe the first few paragraphs. We are running out of time. Yeah, a lot of facts being left out for sure. Variables as well. We don't know 10% of the story, I don't think. Maybe 50% if we're lucky. Oh, sorry. 3:30. 1:30 and 3:30. Sorry about that. I don't know how to count. Oh, we got a new member. Thank you, Pammy. Pammy's holding it down today. M&B statement almost sounds like something someone might say after having learned what occurred, like how you might imagine someone would look. This witness didn't give a statement till law enforcement put out the info. Yeah, they could be putting information, so hopefully they didn't show him the picture, you know. Is this the guy you seen? Tell me what you saw. No, tell me what you saw, and then after you give me your entire story here, is this what you seen? Yeah, Moon Crystal. Okay, so I'm going to go and skip right here to this last one just to keep it moving. And you can see this is where I got my thumbnail. Oops, hold on. I don't know why that's up. Glitchy ass shit. So this is dated August 1st, 2018. Indicated last winter and planned to demolish the old social services building near the Andersons and the Freedom Bridge. The Andersons and the Freedom Bridge across the Hoosier Heartland Highway near Delphi. There were some in the community who wanted to utilize the building and the land for various projects. Nope, we got to knock it down. Why? People wanted to use that building, but none of those plans and wishes came to fruition before NDOT decided on the final action. As promised, NDOT demolished the building Tuesday, July 31st of 2018. An excavator and 2 roll-off dumpsters were delivered Monday, and by Tuesday late in the afternoon, the job was underway and mostly completed. Looks like the staff writer, Debbie Lowe again. Good job, Debbie. Good reporting. Okay, so I also found this. This is a little video, and if you guys want to watch it in its entirety, you can actually the description, or the link is in the description. Sorry, better yet, link is in the description. It's a strange little video, but the guy actually goes into the CPS building a few months before they demolish it. He just walks right into it. So I'm going to show you that this could be used. Anybody can gain access to this building. You don't need a key. And this is not my music. It might be loud. Let me see if I can mute it. All right, muted. So he walks right into the CPS building. He's like, "Ooh, what's this?" He does a little bit of snooping also, I think, on the Weber property. So let me play that again. So, and this is how I know that it is the CPS building. Okay, let me go back. Well, not only was there a couple videos where they showed it inside the CPS building, which is kind of strange. You can't find it anymore. But notice the small window and notice the highway. Right through the small window. So through the reflection, you can see this highway here. Through one of these small windows. So I thought that was interesting, a good example of how anybody could use that. They could have been, maybe they did bring the girls back to the CPS building. Why did they knock it down? Are they trying to hide something? I don't know. Why were they seeing multiple vehicles parked there? I also found a quick video by Gil Smith. Apparently, he was the manager of the DCS building when it was in operation. He's also a big part of Micah Hudson's church. Is that the Baptist church? But I did find a video from him. So if anybody can use his name, Gil Smith, you can probably find some more images or videos inside that CPS building, or maybe other employees that worked there during that time. I think it went out of commission in 2009. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that one. But let's watch and listen to Gil. And this is actually him providing training to the church. This is for his church from his experience with the DCS.
clerk treasurer, Valparaiso, had fondled a boy 30 to 40 times when the boy was 15 years old.
And just so you don't get this out of context, he's basically telling his church like what they need to do to make sure that they're not part of a scandal, what kind of scandals happens, how to identify and be proactive to prevent a scandal. Is kind of what he's trying to train these people.
A little closer to home, that same time, Miami County man was arrested for sexual misconduct with a minor. And why that one jumped out as shocking was that man, and I don't know if you can even see this, but
do you guys recognize this guy? Apparently he was a police officer in Delphi City police officer. And he was accused of sexual assault while he was living in Miami County.
He was a Delphi City policeman that I worked with when I was local office director in Carroll County. And so you don't always know who that person's going to be. And I don't know the story, the circumstance around that, but that's a headline. And so again, I don't know the outcome of this. I don't know if they were found guilty. All I know is those are headlines. And those are the kinds of things that we really have to be careful of. And so we want to make sure we figure out ways to stop all of those things from ever having a headline that involves the Delphi United Methodist
February
Church.
13th. That's crazy, right?
So who does this?
So yeah, he's basically, I don't know, he's providing training.
So normally this would be the spot where I'd ask you for this list before you see it, but so sometimes it's the teacher, it's a trusted person in their life, a drifter, a person is already on probation for sexual molest, stepfather, parents, aunts, uncles, family, friends, Sunday school teacher, childcare workers, camp counselors.
Yeah, Indy, I found that
strangers.
out today.
So if you think about it, most of the time the perpetrator is known to the kid. It did not happen in the dark, isolated alleyways, but in the child's home, in the classroom, at summer camp, and occasionally even in the child's church. Some of these people are very charismatic. They are able to convince children of things that they would not necessarily have a belief in. Some of them are just very sociable, very sympathetic to troubled children. Some are married, some have children, some are young, even in their teens, and some are old. So we really do not know who this person could be and who these people might be. We had in one of the groups I'm involved with, I had a young lady that was that had gotten involved in that group as well, and we found out in the middle of some of the work with youth that she had actually molested a child just a few years ago. And she brought it up to us because I think the guilt was kind of laying on her, and we were thankful she did, but we didn't know it and never would have known it. She was never convicted of a crime. It was just something that had happened. And so you just never know for sure. So we want to make sure that we figure out ways to protect.
He's like, we don't need no headlines. I'm going to show you how to prevent that. Got dog hair all over my face. What's up, Ivy? Kay says that same witness is the one and only person that claims to have seen both BG and the girls. Yeah, that's true. There were a number of people out there. She's the only one. Thank you, Abby's grandma. Good to see you. Thanks for the super sticker. You're awesome. Good one, Bogey says, why all the symbolism when all you do is philanthropy? That's a good question. And why does it look like some Freemason Illuminati shit? Is descended from the same roots as Freemasonry, which is why the two share many of the same symbols. The beehive for both illustrates prosperity and the rewards of hard work. Yeah, I read that the Oddfellows were sometimes referred to as the poor man's Freemason or the poor man's Freemasonry. But I was reading some other articles that I didn't even include where they invite each other into the others' meetings and stuff, and they work together often. So too much for my brain to wrap around some grand conspiracy. Well, we got to find some explanation for this strange case. But, something's awry. Something's afoot. Good point, bees. Thumbs up should be 250. And according to Glitter, there's only 132. According to my calculations, there's some scrubs. Makes one wonder what was KK wearing that day. Maybe all black. I'm telling you, he could be a tool. He could have just been hanging out with Richard Allen the night before, like, yeah, I'm catfishing these girls, or who knows? There's a huge chunk of this story that we don't know. And it could be one of those moments, like, okay. Now I know why you didn't say anything. This explains everything. We're just missing this huge chunk. All right. That was Gil Smith, the old manager of the DCS building back in the day. I was hoping to find some more footage of the DCS building by looking up some of their old employees or interactions there, but that's all I found was something from that church there. So we're going to get into the final topic, which is the phone ping. Now, a couple of other people have covered this, and they did a really good job. But I want to talk about it with you guys. So we'll watch this first, and hopefully it'll kind of set the atmosphere for where the rest of the information is going to go.
In the very early hours of the 14th of February, and not long after the official search had been called off for the night, Sheriff Tobe Lesenby was notified that a cell tower had picked up a signal from one of the girls' cell phones.
I got a call, I think, at 2:30 from the
2:30
sheriff,
in the
and they were
morning.
wanting some lighting to go out and see if we could find the cell phone because the latest ping was coming back to the area of the Monon High Bridge.
Okay, so this guy just said that at 2:30, they're getting phone activity. Well, that's kind of odd, right? Considering what it says in the Ron Logan affidavit. A little contradictory here. States right here, approximately 5:30 p.m. was the last successful ping of the cellular phone by AT&T. So what are they doing there at 2 a.m. in the morning?
Mike said they're not stopping.
A few of us went back out to help search for the cell phone, and we didn't find anything at that time.
A number of people, by their own volition, stayed up most of the night searching, but still, by sunrise,
happening right now in Carroll County. The sheriff.
Okay, in YouTube, this video basically states this is like 3 a.m. in the morning, sunrise. It's the 14th, but really it's late into the night of the 13th, early morning of the 14th.
Sheriff's office and community members continue to look for two missing.
So this video was taken right after 2:30. So if they're telling them to get out there to go find this phone at 2:30, this is we get a chance to see exactly how they mobilized, and this is what we'll be
Girls
looking at.
last seen near the Monon High Bridge Trail in Delphi. News 18's Alexis Moberger reports how many have spent hours searching, and they say they will not stop looking until the girls are found.
Yep, tentacles.
We're just praying for their safe return.
13-year-old
Jinx.
Liberty German and Abigail Williams went
Good night,
missing
Goat.
Monday. The girls were last seen near an abandoned
that's scary.
railroad bridge known as the Monon High Bridge around 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
A little upset, confused, obviously very distraught.
It's about 3 a.m.
Worried.
He's getting ready
All
to
I
head
wanna do
out.
is
He's going to
have the
go
girls get
home
safe.
and go
The
to sleep
girls
for
were
4
dropped
hours.
off near the bridge
Come back
to
at
walk
7 in the
around
morning.
and hang out.
Right here.
They had made arrangements to be picked
So here's the fire department searching for the phone.
up by a family member later
3 in the
in the
morning.
afternoon. But when it came time for the girls to be picked
Everything
up,
that you're watching
they
is them
never
looking for the
showed
phone.
up.
Getting scared now.
Abigail's mom, Anna Williams, has spent hours worrying, just hoping to hear her little girl is okay.
Fire department, that is.
It's getting cold. Been out a long time. They don't know what time they ate last.
The girls haven't answered their phones since around the time they went missing.
Missing, abducted, we don't know for sure. Cell phone has been pinging around town here. There's a cell phone tower, but the ping was last noted about 5 or 6 hours ago. They say the phone's now dead.
The last Snapchat from one of the girls was from 2:07.
Text, I saw a text where that got delivered, but they never got read.
Very
Thanks,
scary situation right now, and I just want her home.
Now many are
Right
on
here.
an extensive search to find them.
So this is the fire department right there looking for that phone. See how they're all bunched up? And they're like, why are they blocking? Why are they trying to put the light in the media's face?
Ravines, ditches, trash cans for phones, any sign of the girls, and anything we can find to just find them.
Deputies, firefighters, and local police are checking every crevice and nook.
See, they're looking for the
Looking
phone.
for answers, looking for the girls.
But so are others from the community. And many of them say they won't stop looking, even if it takes.
Daybreak, fall over with exhaustion. Honestly, I hope they're just hidden up somewhere, scared to be in trouble.
Alexis Moberger, News 18.
And this will be the final piece here. This is from Jason Hebert's interview with Mike and Becky. I don't know how long this is. It's really short.
But I found out after Mike picked me up, after they did that, that they really didn't stop searching because a lot of them reconvened with the fire department and they continued more search.
And now we know why. They got some kind of information about the phone being out there, and we heard that directly from the fire department. Why isn't that in the Ron Logan affidavit? Why does it say 5:30 when he's saying that at 2:30 they're receiving information that they're getting hits on that phone?
Yeah, I think I ran you back home because I said if she calls or something home or shows up there, we want somebody here. And I went back in to the fire station, and the majority of the officials.
And don't get me wrong, I mean the phone could potentially equal the girls. So them looking for the phone is kind of like basically the same as them looking for the girls. You know, that's where the mind should be.
Searchers were still there, and they asked me, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, I want to find them." And
but with that being said, if there was any kind of strange conspiracy, which is not likely, but if there's any corruption, conspiracy, or anything that they're trying to hide that's connected either with the fire department or law enforcement or anything like that, at 3 in the morning, this is when it would have happened. Because we heard Eric Williams, the guy in that interview, he said that the fire department wouldn't let him cross the bridge. Now, they seem very concerned about this phone, or this could be, there's a lot of activity, and you saw them down there. So I just want to point it out, whatever that means.
Said, okay, let's go back out and let's light up that creek. So we kind of started at the bridge and worked our way back towards town.
And listen to Mike. It sounds like they got rid of him right at about 3. They convinced him, like, hey, go get some rest in the morning. We'll jump in some canoes and we'll head this way. And because they didn't do all that canoe stuff until 7 a.m.
And I don't know how many there were, if it was 20 or 50, but both sides of the creek, we had people walking, flashlights, everything was going. And of course, that probably went an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, time we got back to the fire station again. And I said, all right, looks like morning it is. And I continued to drive around town till about 3:30, just hoping to see something, and came home, and then we convened back there in the morning, probably about 7 o'clock.
See, so it looks like he left at 3. So the same time they're looking for the phone and the same time that all this activity is going on, the middle of the day, they're asking Mike, hey, you need to go home and go to sleep. Let's see, the phone ping at 2:30 a.m. has always sent chills from my toes to the top of my head. What? Yeah. And why don't they talk about it? It's almost like they let it slip here. It's not on the official record from what we've seen, what's been presented. That's what they're saying till over 2 a.m. And also those accounts of people screaming and having to call at 2 a.m., that's kind of strange. Do you remember that? Seeing that? It was like a Facebook post saying like around 2:30 there were screams. I don't think I can, honeybee. 2:30 a.m. was when the searchers heard screams coming from north. I don't know if it was searcher. Yeah, somebody posted that on Facebook that they heard that and that they actually called law enforcement. But I don't know how credible that is. So I just think it's strange. They're out there looking for that phone. They're telling Mike to get out of here, telling Eric Williams, don't cross this bridge. All right, guys, we're going to hang out for about another 10 minutes and then we're going to get out of here. So I appreciate everybody for hanging out and participating in the chat. David, hello. Did Richard Allen say that was him in the film? No, I don't think so. Not that I know of. Frank says, pings come from a cell tower. You cannot get GPS coordinates from a cell tower. They triangulate GPS coordinates through 3 satellites. To me, it seems like whichever one has a stronger signal, your phone's going to grab onto. The victim, I mean girls, huh? If the phone pinged, it was turned back on by someone. That's what I'm thinking. Somebody needs to explain that. How they got a hit on a phone that was completely shut off by 5:30, according to AT&T. Yeah, that's what I said, Ivy. Just said that. Big Fish says the fire chief is also related to Libby. Small town USA. Someone made a mistake. They accidentally turned the planted phone on 2:30 a.m. They screwed up. I mean, I don't think anything. I don't see anything pointing at that. But I mean, it is unusual, and there's got to be a reason why this case is so strange. Why everybody's so drawn to it. It's almost like there's some kind of really intense kind of a corruption. Something that somebody's about to get away with some shit, you know, and maybe they will. Thank you. Oh, really? Can you shoot that over to me, Frank, please? If not, just shoot me some details. I'm sure I can find it. Thank you, Honeybee. Yeah, we're going to close her out. Let's go ahead and pop that back up there. Okay, the corruption and cover-up in this case is unfathomable. It's all tied into politics and the good old boys that carries through the judicial system all the way to city council. FBI is a little sketchy too. You can't trust anybody, it seems. Another strange thing about that, Schaefer, is why was it the firefighters to begin with? Why wasn't it, you know, law enforcement and firefighters? You got it, Lisa. Thanks for hanging out. Good to see you, Beach Fairy. As always, Honeybee, you too. Pammy, thanks so much for joining members. Big shout out to Pammy. I-43. Thank you so much. Hey, Grace. Thank you. You got it, Jinx. I appreciate you. For sure, Jay Turner. Same day. The FBI was there during the search. They had an operation that was going on in the nearby counties. A lot of drug busts. Thanks, Sonny B. Thank you, Kay. Would not surprise me if there is a cover-up. Yeah, something's going on, Tom. I don't know if it's just something that we're missing, something we're not being told, or if something they're hiding. All right, guys. That is going to do it for this live stream. I really appreciate you guys giving me your time, listening to me ramble on about my Delphi murders rabbit holes. I appreciate that. Feel free to poke holes, leave me comments. Shout out to the replay crew. Provide your input in the comments if you want to participate. Thank you, JJ. Tina, have a great night. Growing Crazy and Vroom, Grace, Honey, Beach, Big Fish. On that note, guys, I am out of here. Take care.